Oh, welcome back.
Yes.
Hang on. So we got a bunch of houses. Loft. So, where is that side? Vengeance from the grave. Who do we need to confront? Nonton. He's trying to be killed by a large bear. In nearby town of Guild. So we have to find Nonton. Nonton. Huh.
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
I'm pretty sure his skin is dull and grey as a desolate village behind him. He scans you with sunken, lifeless eyes. His voice is a dry croak. He glances at the nard, leaves him frenzy of a tree. You welcome everyone. The only answer you hear is buzzing of the flies from the tree.
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever sired a Hollowborn child?
Hello, born child. No.
Are you absolutely certain? Lord Raderick has made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village.
I'm a godlike. I don't have
I
children.
should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst.
Yeah, well,
His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn just southwest of here.
okay, I'd like to report a murder. An addition to the victim's final moments, saw the crime of evasion. Alright, I'll take it in my hand.
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all. But if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit.
I forgot that you foreigners do not have this curse in your homelands. The Hellborn have been a scourge upon the drywood for almost 15 years now. Children born without souls. Pitiful, dumb things that breathe barely, but do not truly live. Some say the Hellborn are due, some say they are punished from the gods. In truth, no one knows, but they began spreading after the Saints' War, and so the name Warden's legacy struck none of that foul, blasphemous pretender. Trees may seem strict at times before I get it. You'll want to mind where you mentioned that trespassing on the ruins is illegal, not to mention dangerous. You probably saw someone attempting some new ritual to appease the gods. People will try something these days. Barath have mercy. Just as they finished, there was a bivouac.
keep out of...
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy. It seems your arrival is ill-timed. 3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully.
Mr. Rose, these are pets. I heard a mean little man. It is no threat, only a warning. Will tolerate no threats to his kin or those who have lived upon his lands. Grief will not make him more docile. Does this affect the Lord's offer of thing? I can be sure. If nothing right now, I advise you to get some rest. The inn or stable. Farewell. He comes from a line of notes who have definitively signed since times. Frederick II was an early supporter of dry Woodian independence during the Revolution, and the current Lord's father parish in the Saints War help on again appearing in the draft after the war. And second points to purge the curse of the Gilead, as much as have been severe but necessary. Unfortunately, it may not have been enough. The bells were any indication of the Saints War ages. Most outrageous example, man's madness. 15 years ago, the people of Recapture decided that Waden, the living saint, was the literal incantation of God. Oathus. The saint took it upon himself to liberate the Drywood, supposedly from illusions to less worthy gods, but have never known an army to conquer a land for its own people's good. The war lasted about a year, but you can guess what that year did to the worship of Oathus and the Drywood. Lord and his forebears had all been Oathusians, but after these fell for defending us from those fanatics, he personally saw that the temple here was shut down. If you're in it has nice and important to everyone, I'd like to know more about we're a frontier village, as most settlements in the Dry River has grown much since its foundation in the kilometers. Why has the population been shrinking? Wyden's legacy, of course, many women have had difficulty bearing healthy children. If late a few years ago, the Lord decreed that no mothers of Leopold are to be allowed in Gilded Vale. His lordship dealt swiftly with the objectors. It may be harsh, but if you purchase the curse, it is worth it. That's what's left of the Temple of Thing. Forbade worship of the dead god after the Saints' War. It's been abandoned for almost 15 years, but there are plans to rededicate it to Bareth, the god of life and death. Enough about Gilded Vale. Goodbye. Sell swords. Speak to her if you need instructions. Move along. Village of the Blackhounds Inn is a fine place. It's a fine place. You hear the bells. I will find you, non-turn, and I will enact justice, because I am the god of death. Villager. History containing the essence of the man's souls. Voices from its past seem to cry and reach out for the soul. You see a large character in the middle of the court. This man stands in the midst of them, a cloak pulled over his head, holding it close around his neck. The crowd has congregated around a platform, and they will all watch. Transfixed as a man is led to the platform, flanked by 2 city guardsmen. The man is shackled hand and foot, but carries himself as a noble, not denying to even a glance at the crowd. The cloaked man pulls his cover closer around his face and turns to leave, hunching over to avoid being seen. A crier on the platform rolls apart when it begins to read, but the man pays no attention. Intent on getting away from the courtyard, the crow's voice grows louder and more intense as he reads, and the voice from the crowd starts to punctuate his sentences. The jeers and shouts grow more frequent, and with Each one, the cloaked man flinches and his shoulders droop. He breaks from the crowd, coming to the edge of the courtyard. The crowd reaches the end of his proclamation. The crowd grows silent again, save for the occasional shout. The man turns back to look at the platform, seeing his father kneeling before the block, neck exposed. The extra moves into position, lifting his axe to strike. The man turns suddenly, unable to watch. There is a wet thunk, and the crowd breaks into cheers and applause. He leans against the wall, regaining his composure, then straightens up. With obvious resolve, he strides off away from the crowd and his legacy. I clicked this guy. He's a fucking... How does he have a father? Aren't they naturally born? Engineer is... Ooh. You see a pair of immaculately polished leather boots and an impeccably maintained goatee. Their owner is a slightly hook-nosed man with a wicked grin and narrow eyes. He bobs his feather hat at a nearby merchant as he ambles by. A small piece of parchment held tight in his fist, ink-stained his fair fingers. He seems to know most of the merchants in the market, stopping to engage some, nodding at others, and even bartering for minor goods. A select few, always smiling, laughing, exchanging jibes. He approaches a heavy-set Amora, smile pulses stiff across his face and jokes about the weather. She jokes back, suddenly palming several gold coins. When he walks away, the paper in his hand is gone and the smile on his face far more genuine. He tips his cap at her, winking, and trottles off with a new spring in his step. Okay. Okay, let's enter this person's house and see if we get chased out. The man and woman appear to have deep fun working at closing two bulging sketches. They move to embrace until the woman notices your approach and pauses a small.
Gods keep you.
Can we help you? She looks at the current brows fragments. Do you know this man, Nonton? Yes, I think we met in the Valewood. I warned him about the bear. Glad to see you've made it. Was there something else you wanted? You two seem to be in a hurry. Yes, I imagine so. We're packing for a trip. Actually, I've been meaning to visit Defiance Bay, and, well, in truth, I think I've had a feel of this town. I know what really happened in the bear cave, Nonton. The calorie drains from Nonton says, I don't know what you mean. I told you the truth of it. Are you accusing him of something? If this is about the accident, we're both grieving Cody's loss, but as a wild animal's doing. What would you... Why did you do it? He was your friend. My friend. He was a cruel enough man to his friends. You didn't know him. You wouldn't defend him if you did. Not to wait. I don't know what you saw in that cave, but this isn't what you think. Clearly, my husband, he was such a beast as that bear. I tried to leave the first time I suffered his temper, but he wouldn't have it. Not in he. We met, and I knew I'd found someone special, someone kind, who cared for me. Well, all we want is to leave the place and start somewhere else. We got some coins saved up, we could do it. You could have it, if only lets us. Do I be just, or do I be blasé about it? I just got to town, I don't want to cause problems. I don't know what to choose. Sounds fair enough, hand it over. 50 copper, I'll take the money, thank you from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I got some money. Okay, we got a book. We can read it. It's worth money. What's that bow like? Well, cleared that up. Wash my hands of that. I was so hesitant of what to do there. Do we kill them? Do we go to the magistrate? But they didn't believe us. Do we say? So that's the windmill. That's the inn. That's the smithery. That's the inn. Can we just sell a bunch of stuff here, I think? Oh, we don't actually want to steal anything. Ooh. You see a man crouching. Serpentious and alone, a series of untamed shrubs, all that hides him from the vision ahead. His eyes are locked on a Delimgan, beautiful and terrible, eyes half lidded as she hums. A bird with fantastic blue and orange plumage sits on her shoulder. Thrilling gently, and the man is entranced. Trembling, tentative, he stands, and the twinkling leaves breaking by the bird's startled squad. The half smiles, beckoning with the twig-like fingers. She does not speak as she approaches her. His mouth is dripping sounds of awe and admiration. She waits, coy and tempting, and with agonizing slowness he is before her. Then something changes. She sees something hanging limply from his side and begins to hiss. Fingers, suddenly claws, and eyes black with hate. He has no time to reach for his axe or grimoire as she strikes, and just as soon as she strikes, she is gone. The only evidence of her existence, the shuddering wreck on the ground. He grabs at his grimoire, nevertheless, and begins to chant, but the words of magical language of his own imagining, scribbled in a maniacal, Jesus. Shorthand ring hollow, and the silence continues on. He turns and shrugs. It's someone or something, but if there was something there, you do not see it. Another one. You see a group of adventurers surrounded by a crowd of attacking Syrups. This man is with them, seemingly unconcerned by the battle, even detached from it, as he stands in the middle of his comrades, chanting, his expression bordering on elation. His voice is powerful and deep, booming out across the combatants as a rich counterpoint to the chaos of their fighting. With every phrase, the battlefield changes. His allies grow with a pulsing blue light, freezing the Syrups that surround them. A blazing pyre erupts from the ground, cutting and burning the creatures and sending them scattering. One of the fallen Zerip suddenly explodes as three giant grubs crawl from its corpse and attack the remaining enemies. The man continues to chant, thoroughly enthralled in the joy of the moment. Finally, the creatures have been reduced to one. His allies stand back as the man approaches it. Still chanting, he removes his hammer and swings it at the creature. His phrase ends as the hammer connects with its head, punctuating the spell and bringing his song to an end. The Amorian man is of an impressive build, towering above the countertop. His skin is a dusky blue with the deeper oceans, and his thick arms boast coated muscles. Small, his frame is square, jawed face coated in smeared soot and arcing black tattoos alike. Welcome, you're the first new face I've seen in quite some time. What can I do? What do you do here? You come to us. So I'm afraid the stock's not what it used to be, but where the fighting weapons armor to offer you, or forge right here at the moment. Show me. What happened? We just have the supplies. We've been expecting them actually for near on a week now and haven't seen a sign of it. Have to expect they were hit by bandits. The road out east is crawling with them. All my workers ran off with the wagon themselves. Maybe to make some coin, as if that lot would dare. If you happen to be headed that way, maybe you could keep an eye out for the supply wagon, or all my shipment at least. They're cutting through the Black Meadow, I expect. Really good road for it. I'll find your supplies.
Greetings.
I like to see your wares. Can we... we can sell. I'm not going to get into crafting. Is there any warbow? Ooh, average. I want fast. I kind of want a fast bow. Okay, armor. We want light armor. There is none. Minor ring of deflection. They are expensive. Retrain. Let's retrain. Okay. Ooh, camping supplies. It's a lot, but we'll. We can hold 6. Okay, and close. Okay. We're restocked and ready to go. I'm gonna go to the inn and then we're gonna stop. Alof, you see 4 people gathering at the door of the inn. They raise voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its one. The first figure raises his hand for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood, but his height and stature suggest an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
Ooh, a fight.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Fie, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksfeather!
Ooh!
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
He plants his feet, so.
That's where you're wrong.
Ooh! Oh! Oh! Well, you can go there.
Yeah.
No, you go there. And
Well?
you go here, and we go. Useless little shits.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation. Courtesy is a rare pleasure in these parts, though your accent suggests that you are no more local than I.
Well, no shit. Have you seen what I look like? Linen. You note the remains of fraying embroidery around his gloves. His boots are caked with dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork beneath it is sturdy
I
and fine.
suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Alof Corvisor, at your service. I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I'm grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here? In Gwithan ruins? Well, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. In half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious. And you survived? I've heard such a thing was impossible. But it seems you either have a knack for timing or the favor of the gods. I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
He is the Loki.
An excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that... Indeed. The local lord has searched far and wide for similar specialists. He has rid himself of them almost as desperately. Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, as should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn.
Do we
They say
want
even
him?
the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
Yeah, let's do it.
As you wish. Well?
Go to the inn. Wasn't expecting all this dialogue. Alright, we're in the inn. We save. Alright. And we'll end the episode here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, let me know down in the comments below. Otherwise, hit subscribe and spoil. The notification bell to keep up to date. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.